In Washington, the House of Representatives has voted in favor of raising the country's debt ceiling. The legislation allows the U.S. government to avoid defaulting on its loans. But the deal also includes spending cuts the Republicans demanded. The bill now advances to the U.S. Senate. So for more, let's bring in the CBC's McCarthy. What are we expecting next?
Well, the Senate could vote as early as today on this bill, and the bill would see the debt ceiling limit lifted for 2 years. The current limit, of course, is $31.4 trillion, and we know that's maxed out. So getting this passed quickly is really the goal for both the Democratic and Republican leaders in the Senate. But there are some senators that have suggested that they'll push for amendments to the legislation, and that, of course, could slow things down. Now, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is urging senators to move quickly on this, given that Monday deadline. That is when the U.S. could run out of money to pay its bills.
So moving forward on this agreement is the sensible, responsible thing to do, and most vital for our country. We're getting close to putting this threat of default behind us, but there's still more work, perhaps the most important work to do, passing it into law.
Now, if the Senate passes the bill, the next step after that would be to send it to the president's desk to get signed. But again, we still have to see what the Senate actually decides to do here.
And now the House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, may still be feeling some heat from members of his own party after getting the bill through the House last night. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this vote was a really big test for McCarthy in his speaker role. We heard from him and from President Biden that not everyone got what they wanted with this deal, but that it needed to happen to avoid the U.S. defaulting on its debt. Now, when it comes to spending cuts, it's projected that this deal would eliminate about $1.5 trillion in spending over 10 years. And a number of Republicans actually wanted more cuts. And while the debt ceiling bill passed with 317 votes for it and 117 votes against it, there were 71 Republicans that did not support this bill. So here's what Kevin McCarthy had to say about all this.
I know the country is divided. I watched Congress divided today. I watched my own Congress, my own conference. I will work to make sure everybody comes back. It might not be easy, but it's too important to let go.
Well, some of those Republicans may not be ready to let this issue go. Some of the members are considering a vote to possibly get him out of the job. Take a listen.
There will be a discussion motion to vacate. Yeah, stay tuned. I think what the discussion about the motion to vacate is going to happen in the next week or two.
So it sounds like there could be trouble ahead for McCarthy. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, the focus is really getting this debt ceiling bill to the president, and we'll have to see what happens in the Senate today.
Thanks for this. That is the CBC's McCarthy in Washington.